Disney, why do you do this to us? Disney, why do you do this to us? Now when we say, have you seen The Jungle Book or have you seen Pete's Dragon? We don't know what we're talking about.
Welcome to the dialogue, where movies are more than mindless entertainment. I'm Derek, and this is Andrew.
What's up?
And we're recording on a newer camera today. I just had to mention this because there's this bright light in my face. Today we are reviewing the movie Pete's Dragon, Disney's newest reboot of a movie that was a beloved classic. I can't speak.
It was a beloved classic, though.
It was a beloved classic.
To some.
Some people haven't even heard of it. I was talking to some coworkers today, and they were like, yeah, no, I don't know what that is. So, you know, if you're one of those people,
Pete's what?
Welcome to the world. The movie is basically about this boy who, in the original iteration of it, is basically in an abusive situation with his family, runs away. This movie is a little bit different on how it starts off. The boy is basically has a bad accident happen where he's separated from his family. And now he's out in the woods all alone for an extended period of time. I think it was basically 6 years. But in that 6-year period of time, he's been hanging out with his dragon. And hence the movie title, Pete's Dragon. He beloves and I guess...
He beloves.
He beloves.
He belongs and loves.
He beloves the dragon. And the dragon beloves him. And so right. They have this beloving relationship.
I like how that kind of makes perfect sense, but no.
We're going to make it work.
Yeah. I can't organize my thoughts because I want to separate it from the original. You have to. Like, it's a different thing, although there was definitely marks to plot lines that happened in the original. So you can kind of, if you know the movie, the songs aren't there at all. Although I should say, I actually really love the music in this movie. There's source music that's really good, and there's also the score. I really loved it.
Yeah, we're going to have to listen to that later.
I will listen to that again and again. So just basically points in the story. Pete and his dragon, them meeting people, them dealing with that, other people dealing with it and not liking the dragon. I can completely understand, because we talked about this, and I hold a little more positive view of the movie than you do.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Right.
I don't like it as much.
He doesn't like it as much. I liked this movie, okay? Now, I was going to say I understand because there is not a lot to the story. And there really could be. There really could be a lot to the story. You have themes of family and belonging, as we kind of made jokes about. Beloving. Yes, beloving. But there's also, there's so many other themes in this movie, like imagination, invisible, visible, accepting of your situation, the North Star, following and having that adventure, and following the course. A lot of really interesting things that are really, really good, profound things, and that's why I like this movie. I would say I like this movie because of that, because it taps into some things that are more profound. You do have a lot of extended shots of Pete flying with his dragon in the sky while an epic soundtrack is playing. Yeah. So on the one hand, that could be a really cool thing, especially if you see it in theaters. So I would actually recommend that. I kind of joked with you. I was like, you didn't feel like you were flying in the sky with the dragon? And that is a bit of a joke because they do play that. They do play that maybe a little too much. But you do feel that if you get into the movie. I felt that. So there's not a lot happening in the story when that happens. But there's still the feeling, elements of belonging to Pete, going on the journey with him. And also the deeper themes. So, I like the movie. Yeah,
I didn't like the movie as much as Andrew has already told you.
Sorry,
we had an extended... No, that's fine. You know what? We had an extended discussion about this before we recorded this video. And I gotta say, basically, I just feel like the movie didn't really dive deep into the different characters as much as I wanted it to. I watched the original Pete's Dragon, which deals with a lot of heavy issues. It deals with, drunkenness. It deals with family affair issues kind of things. And then abuse situations. It deals with society. It deals with broken family home situations and the feeling of loss and then connection. This movie, I felt like, dealt with like two subjects. I'm not going to say exactly what those subjects are, but it's family and but yeah, so
and the trees.
But basically this movie,
that's a joke.
It could have achieved so much, and I felt like it just basically left so much to be desired. There's just a lot of shots of nothing. Like, and you hinted at this.
Right.
There's just shots of trees or extended shots of somebody going from point A to point B. And it's like, why are we following this? I mean, there's some great sound, like music playing during this moment, but there's not much more than that. And it leaves a lot to be desired. You're like, you could have spent this time that you were doing this stupid shot actually getting down to the heart and the meat of the situation, so that at the end of the movie, when everything's coming together, you actually feel like you're invested emotionally into the situation, which it just leaves you wanting more, and you're like, why did this happen? Why is it always me, Disney? Why?
Curse you!
No.
But
Disney makes good movies. But yeah, I just felt that this one just fell short for me. That's not to say that I don't like parts of it, or different things. And I will say this before we go on. The beginning of this movie, I was like, yes.
Oh. Yeah.
I was getting geared up. I was like, this is gonna be great. There's gonna be a huge emotional impact to me. But even that fell short.
That's exactly what I was saying, with the like shots of nothing, quote unquote.
Right.
And I actually tied it into this scene. There's kind of like an introduction, before the title sequence.
Yes.
Which there really is no title sequence. There's this, Pete's dragon.
Just right into it.
You have to use yourself. You have to inject in your mind in order for you to actually go on the journey of the movie and get stuff from it. You have to like keep reminding yourself about the intro scene. Right. Because it doesn't give it to you, and it's not necessarily in like the good way of, we're not going to feed you, so you have to work for yourself. Right. That's not. In some ways that's good. In some ways it's like it could have done more.
It's almost like, it's more like not you have to work for it, like they're expecting you to be a smart viewer. Right. It's more like they made mistakes in not making it as impactful as it should have been, and so you have to work for it to be impactful for you.
I might say that. I might agree with that. Although I will say that it does have a really, really good impact if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Stink. So I'm either going to give it an 8 or 9.
Okay.
And because of the positions we've taken,
yeah,
I'm going to go 9.
Oh,
I'm going to just go 9.
Buckle your seatbelt.
I'm going to go 9.
I'm going to slap this sucker down with a 5.
Okay.
I was thinking about a 4, but but it's not that bad. Wow. It's 5 worthy, though. It's like middle of the road. Right. I don't care to ever see that again. Waste my life watching random people drive around in cars. But every now and again, I want to see that car drive.
I don't know, man.
I want to see you driving that car.
I think the movie is poignant in its underlevel, in its underbelly. In the underbelly of the dragon,
I'll give it that.
It's poignant.
I think it's got some good stuff. And it has potential.
Right. And I guess primarily what I'm thinking of is kind of our motto. Movies are more than mindless entertainment.
It is.
If that's not where you're at, then you will probably not like this movie.
Are you saying that I was just in it for the mindless entertainment?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm making a very subtle reference that may be saying that. Ooh.
Ouch. That's going to burn. It's going to burn long and hard.
Sorry, bro.
I love you still.
Join us next time on The Dialogue. Make sure you subscribe and like. And I'm holding my fist up in the air because we're going to close it out with a fist bump. You know how we do.